My name is Jason Murphy. I have lived in Chicago my entire life except for 6 months that I spent down in Tulsa, and I am 31 years old. Influences I've seen from Al Capone in the city of Chicago, be hard for me to name them all, but off the top of my head, general culture, interaction with people, stories we like to tell. There are numerous Al Capone paraphernalia that's always for sale. My brother-in-law is actually a huge fan. You walk around his house, there's Al Capone mug shots, pictures, stories, places, all having to do with Al Capone.
My name is Matt Pristave. I have a degree in electrical engineering. I've been living in Chicago my entire life besides the time I was in the service. There's a lot of influence I've seen of Al Capone in Chicago. For example, when I was in the service, as soon as I say I'm from Chicago, even overseas, whatever country, anywhere in America and otherwise, they were like, oh, Al Capone.
I've heard a lot of local legends and stories having to do with Al Capone growing up. Some of them new, even when I'm fully grown. My favorite one has got to be the story of Widow McCleary, wife of McCleary that used to own McCleary's Tavern out in Beecher on the Cal-Sag. Of course, one of the other ones that ties into this is that Al Capone really liked to dump some of his bodies in the Cal-Sag. So since he liked to dump his bodies there, of course, owning a tavern, which at the time didn't really serve alcohol, of course, right on the Cal-Sag was something that he really coveted. So the story went that he had McCleary killed, who was an Irishman, which back then the Italians and the Irish were pretty much the mafia and the cops, and approached the widow McCleary, to purchase the tavern, the bar, the inn, whatever it was at the time. And Widow McCleary, knowing that Al Capone had her husband killed, rebuffed him and renamed the place Widow McCleary's just to kind of snuff his face in it.
Some local legends I've heard was the big one where I grew up on the south side is there's this graveyard called Bachelor's Grove that's in the middle of the forest, in the forest preserves. And that place was known for where they dropped the mob hits bodies, and all the kids used to go there, or still do, go to there on Halloween stuff because they think it's haunted.
The statement about Al Capone being a modern day Robin Hood, I don't feel it has too much to do with my lineage and the Irish-Italian war that went on, but he really wasn't. What he was popular for and what people really liked him for, and what I can't argue with, is the fact that he provided alcohol at a time when the Prohibition was in place and strong, and obviously something that nowadays we know was a mistake for the government to even attempt the Prohibition. When you think about everything that went into the Prohibition and how kind of drastically it failed, especially in the city of Chicago, mainly because Al Capone and the way he moved all the alcohol around the town in the Undercity. But with the speakeasies, the underground tunnels in the Undercity of Chicago, there was nothing that could really stop the alcohol from flowing into the city. And that's what made Al Capone so powerful, was the fact that Chicago kind of had this wonderful infrastructure that supported his entire business endeavor.